Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The name's Wiley, the one and only, the brilliant scientist Dr. Wiley. It may seem rather sudden to you, but I've decided I'd like to take over the world. Here's your look at the Funko Mega Man. This is Dr. Wiley. The evil Dr. Wiley joins Leaf Shield Mega Man, the regular Mega Man, and Thunderbeam in a 4-figure release from the folks over at Funko. Dr. Wiley, you mad genius. He is a mad genius after all. We're going to go ahead and first figure out how tall the figure is, then we're going to go and proceed with the rest of this devilish review. I like the way you've started that. According to the Ultra Measure-Tron 5000, Dr. Wiley stands at 5.2 inches in height, which in centimeters works out to be 13.4 centimeters tall. As I've not been able yet to find the original Blue Mega Man, I have, however, reviewed the Leaf Shield Mega Man and also the Thunderbeam like Mega Man. I still think it's ridiculous that he was never called really like Elect Beam Mega Man. That would have made more sense than Thunderbeam. But as you can see, the evil Dr. Wiley is a little bit taller, as he really should be, than the two Mega Man on either side. This would be the part of the review in which I would show you the accessories, the various accessories that come with the evil Dr. Wiley. And I have to keep feeling the need to add evil to this description of this character, so I'll do my best to try to leave evil off, because I'm sure he's a good man underneath all of his evil exterior, but he doesn't sadly come with any accessories. That's kind of a bummer. You would think he would come with a gadget, a remote control, or something. I mean, after all, he's poised with something or something that should easily have fit into his hand. A tease, if I will say, this Funko. That's a tease. And nobody likes teasies. I think that's ridiculous. So he doesn't unfortunately come with any sort of accessory other than, I guess, really his jacket. I don't know if you want to count that as an accessory, but that's the only other thing that comes included with the figure release. I will say, though, that the material for the jacket, as you could probably guess it based on what you're looking at currently, it's a softer material than the otherwise dense plastic that makes up the figure. The head sculpt is perfect for Dr. Wiley, and even though he doesn't change too frequently through the Mega Mans that he appears in. This kind of really feels more like cartoon Dr. Wiley, in which probably a lot of these characters are based from. A pixelized version of Dr. Wiley would be perfect, along with pixelized versions of all the various incarnations and different looks to the Blue Bomber, but that unfortunately is not something we can speak of just yet, or maybe down the road we may eventually get that. I don't even know. But I will say that is a really good, perfect likeness and head sculpt for what I would imagine Dr. Wiley to look like, again, if he was in a cartoon. I have some of the original Mega Man cartoons. There's been a few of them, some of them a little bit better than others. I think the original one was Deke. I may not be correct by that, but a really good head sculpt likeness of Dr. Wiley nonetheless. Big, giant mustache. There's something about him and Eggman or Dr. Robotnik that have similar looking designs to him. Robotnik, of course, would have red, I think brownish red, versus Dr. Wiley's grays. He's a little bit more of a veteran in the field of mass world conquering than maybe Robotnik is. If they could only join forces. Oh my god, could you imagine a Sonic and Mega Man team-up game? Oh my god, that would be so fantastic. But we can only dream in the meantime. Love the head sculpt. His hair appears to be separate pieces from the rest of his head sculpt. I guess maybe for a mold standpoint, it was just cheaper to produce this on its own, or maybe this may be a precursor to what we may get down the road for a Dr. Wiley, maybe something with a helmet. That may be potentially cool. He's wearing also a shirt and red tie. The tie is not removable. It is molded, glued right to his torso, so even he wouldn't be able to undo his tie. A pair of blue slacks, and a pair of very comfortable brown, it kind of looks like little Hush Puppy, is Hush Puppy even a brand name anymore? Boy, I'm dating myself by saying this. Little loafers, little comfortable loafers. After all, if you are conquering the world, you would want to do it at your best, with the most comfortable footwear you can find. And I'm sure Dr. Wiley doesn't skimp when it comes to comfortable shoes. You should never really skimp when it comes to comfortable shoes. Try the very best to get the best comfort that you can get, because after all, you're going to be standing on these little puppies most of your time, unless you're just sitting down on the job. Dr. Wiley seems to sit on the job a lot, relying on little pods and stuff to kind of get him around, but still at the end of the day, he's got to walk home. He's got to walk somewhere. And I'm guessing he probably has somewhat comfortable shoes to do that. The figure's posability, I guess there's, look, there's the back of the figure too. The figure's posability, let's go ahead and do that right now. His head rotates back and forth. Kind of has to, unfortunately, turn on a really awkward angle. I will also tell you guys too, don't kid yourself. Unless you're talking to a vampire or somebody who is eternally living forever and ever, I don't think you can really do that to a regular human being. That would most definitely kill him, or at the very least paralyze him. And I really would hate, that would be a fate worse than death, to be paralyzed with having your head looking like that. So let's quickly turn that back around. It was solely for the sake of this review to show you that that is capable. That's what he's capable of doing. His head kind of slightly rocks back and forth, and it slightly hinges up and down, but there's not a real lot of extra wiggle room to work from. His arms rotate back and forth. They unfortunately sort of get around and get stuck around his head, especially with his hair sticking up. He has a bend at the elbows, and also both of the hands rotate. So if you do want that madness of Dr. Wiley, or flailing violently because he's been defeated yet again by you, Mega Man, you would be able to do that by rotating his hands all the way around. He has no waist swivel. His legs split out. They go forward, they go back, they bend at the knee, a rather chunky bend. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said chunky. But that's what they are. It's a chunky leg. I'm sorry. And he doesn't have what seems to be any posability in his feet. A good-looking deer doctor, a mad doctor. Dr. Wiley looks fantastic. I hope we also get, of course, his nemesis, and nemesis being in a positive way, a Dr. Light. I mean, obviously, if they're going to release Dr. Wiley, you would hope at some point they're also going to release a Dr. Light. Let's hope. Time may tell, but let's hope. As concentrated madness runs deep into Wiley's veins, some moderate amount of madness comes from this humbled reviewer. The fact that Funko couldn't have included something with Dr. Wiley. I mean, his hand is open. You would think that at the very least they could have given him a little remote control. A little remote control, that's not asking a whole lot. I guess from their logic, Dr. Wiley is a little bit bigger than Mega Man. He's using a little bit more plastic, so maybe as a result of it, the additional accessories, that's the scrapping of additional accessories sound effect, by the way, completely cut out of this figure release. Maybe potentially, I can only hope that maybe Funko will eventually give us, I've said eventually a whole lot, giving us pods. I would love to put Dr. Wiley inside of a pod. I guess I could make one, but I don't have the supplies, nor do I have the wherewithal, I think, to produce such a feat. So instead, I can only put my two hands together and make a wish that Funko eventually will give us a pod, something of flight that Dr. Wiley can sit inside of. I certainly don't expect a full mechanized creation, but at the very least, give him one of those little flight pods. I mean, that is sweet. I'd love to get to work in a mad scientist flight pod, or even go back to my castle, where it would very brightly outline outside the walls where exactly you have to get to me. I know it's not really on the outside of his castle. That would be ridiculous if a big outline would form on the outside of his castle telling Mega Man where he has to go to, but it usually involves the castle going black, and then you would see the outline. Either way, if you guys have managed to pick up Dr. Wiley for yourself, let me know down below what you guys think of the figure, or really just based on this review, and hopefully the job that I've done, I hope I got a gold star for it. Let me know what you guys think of the figure based on this review. Also, if you're new to this channel and haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know that subscribe button. And there's also a bell. Once you ring the bell to make sure that all full notifications are activated to full concentrated mode, Warp Factor 7, so that when new videos are coming onto this channel, you guys will never miss out. Even though we are technically wrapping up Mega Man Week. Wait, there was a Mega Man Week? No, there really wasn't. I just threw that in there to see if anyone was noticing. I probably shouldn't have. I should have let that wait and let that stew for a little bit before I revealed there was no such thing as Mega Man Week. But that wraps up, at the very least, Mega Man reviews for the time being. But rest assured, we're going to be having a look at some other cool goodies, which I might also add came to us from viewer Bill. Sent Dr. Wiley, sent Leaf Shield Mega Man, and sent Thunderbeam Mega Man my way, as well as some other cool Mega Man stuff that we're going to get through in future reviews. Mark it on the calendar. This guy's going to come through. I'm going to do my best to get through everything that Bill has sent my way, because he sends so much. Thank you very much once again, Bill. But more videos, guys, will be coming away, so stay tuned for that. Keep your eyes peeled, and I'll see you guys next time.